According to a famous Princeton study, happiness from money plateaus at around $75,000 a year. But new research suggests that number is completely wrong. Hello, and welcome to Money Machined, the money rules nobody taught you in school. We break down how credit, investing, taxes, and debt actually work, with real numbers, zero hype. New videos weekly. Here's what that 2010 Princeton study actually found. Below around $75,000 in today's dollars, every extra $1,000 makes a real difference to daily happiness. But above that threshold, the emotional benefits supposedly flatten out. More money equals more satisfaction with your life overall, but your day-to-day happiness? That hits a ceiling. But here's where it gets interesting. A 2023 University of Pennsylvania study challenged this completely. They found no plateau at all. Happiness kept rising with income all the way up to $500,000 and beyond. So which study is right? They both are, because they're measuring different things, and understanding the difference reveals why net worth stops mattering at a very specific point. Quick reminder, this is educational content, not financial advice. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Always do your own research and consider talking to a financial advisor before making investment decisions. Let me tell you about Sarah. She's 32, makes $50,000 a year, and every unexpected expense is a crisis. Car repair, credit card, medical bill, payment plan. Now meet David. Same age, makes $100,000. Same car repair, doesn't even disrupt his budget. He's got an emergency fund, maxes out his 401k match, takes actual vacations. The difference between their daily stress levels? Massive. But here's the thing. Now, let's add Michael. He makes $500,000. His emergency fund could cover 2 years of expenses. He flies first class, owns multiple properties. Is Michael's day-to-day happiness 5 times better than David's? Research suggests not even close. Maybe 20% happier. Maybe. This is what both studies were trying to measure. The Princeton study focused on emotional well-being, how you feel moment to moment. The Penn study measured life evaluation, how satisfied you're looking at your life as a whole. Your daily emotional experience does plateau. After a certain point, money can't make your Tuesday afternoon significantly better, but your overall life satisfaction, that keeps climbing with wealth. But there's a hidden trap in the middle that nobody talks about, and it has to do with something called benefit cliffs. Between roughly $75,000 and $120,000, depending on where you live and your family size, you can actually lose money by earning more. Here's how it works. You get a raise from $70,000 to $85,000. Congratulations. You just lost your subsidized health insurance. That could cost you $6,000 a year. Your kid no longer qualifies for a reduced price lunch. There goes another $1,000. Child care tax credits phase out, potentially thousands more gone. In extreme cases, research shows you might keep less than half of a raise in this income range once you factor in lost benefits and higher taxes. This creates a brutal psychological trap. You're earning more but feeling poorer, working harder but falling behind. The system punishes you for trying to improve. So, when does net worth stop mattering? There are actually 3 critical thresholds, and they're probably not what you think. Threshold 1, the security point. This typically hits somewhere around 1 year of expenses saved. Could be $50,000, could be $100,000, depends on your life. At this point, your daily anxiety drops dramatically. Job loss isn't catastrophic. Medical emergency won't bankrupt you. You can actually sleep at night. This is where that Princeton study's $75,000 number comes from. It's not about the income. It's about reaching basic financial security. Threshold 2, the freedom point. This is when your invested assets generate enough passive income to cover your basic needs. For many, that's around 25 times annual expenses. If you spend $40,000 a year, that's $1 million invested. Spend $80,000, you need $2 million. This is the real financial independence number. At this point, work becomes optional. You're not retiring. You're buying the freedom to choose. That psychological shift? Priceless. Threshold 3, the legacy point. This varies wildly, but research suggests it's when you have enough to maintain your lifestyle and leave something meaningful behind. For some, that might mean $5 million. For others, $50 million. But here's what's fascinating. Studies show that beyond this legacy point, additional wealth adds almost nothing to life satisfaction. 10 million, or 100 million, your daily experience barely changes. The ultra-wealthy know this. That's why billionaires often seem restless starting new companies, buying sports teams. They're not chasing money anymore. They're chasing meaning. So here's the uncomfortable truth. Net worth stops mattering at different points for different people, but it does stop mattering. For daily happiness, research suggests it's somewhere between $75,000 and $150,000 in annual income, depending on your location and circumstances. For life satisfaction, that number's much higher, probably when you hit that freedom threshold around 25 times your annual spending. And for leaving a legacy, that's entirely personal, but once you can live your life and meaningfully impact others, more zeros won't make you happier. Remember that $75,000 happiness study from the beginning. It was never about the number. It was about reaching the first threshold, basic security. The most important milestone isn't $1 million or 10 million. It's your first 100,000, because that's when compound interest becomes your ally instead of your enemy. That's when money starts making money. When financial stress stops dominating your thoughts, when you stop surviving and start building. Every dollar matters until you hit security. Every thousand counts until you reach freedom. But after that, the game changes completely. Understanding these thresholds completely transforms how you think about building wealth. We have a detailed breakdown of how to calculate your personal financial independence number, the exact amount where work becomes optional for your specific situation.